significant investment to ensure its availability. Therefore, those managing these water projects must have sufficient funds to carry out necessary repairs whenever needed and to maintain the machines and equipment so that water supply remains uninterrupted. I also urge citizens to pay their water bills, and at the same time, I call on water authorities to avoid issuing inflated or false bills. Only legitimate bills should be issued, and they must be paid on time.
Juma Awesu, the minister responsible for the water sector, says the Butimba water project has helped to improve the water accessibility in the Lake region, statement supported by the Mwanza Regional Commissioner Said Mtanda.
So far, we have managed to supply water to Kwimba, Usagara, and Sumve. A total of 32 billion shillings has been allocated to ensure that Lake Victoria water project reaches even areas as far as Muhimbili, supplying water to both urban and remote communities far from the lake. From March 2021 to 2025, the region has completed a total of 80 rural water projects with combined value of 100.3 billion shillings implemented under the Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency, RUWASA.
Access to clean and safe water in rural areas in Mwanza region has increased from 57% in 2021 to 77% in 2025. Tony Kivaria, TBC News.
Tanzania's Information and Communication Technologies Commission is set to host an annual Tanzania Artificial Intelligence Forum from 28th to 29th July 2025, where this year the forum will focus on exploring investment and business opportunities in the technology sector for young innovators and equip them with skills to compete in the international markets. Among the main issues to be discussed include the key issues emerging in artificial intelligence sector, the challenges and success stories emerging in young tech companies, formulation of AI national policy to ensure the sector make a positive contribution to the country. Now, to discuss more on the forum and the overall state of ICT sector in the country, we're joined live by the Director General of the ICT Commission in Tanzania, Dr. Nkundwe Moses Mwasaga. Doctor, welcome to TBC News.
Thank you very much.
Great pleasure to be with you here today. We understand the forum nears, and artificial intelligence, of course, is taking over so fast all over the world. Maybe some Tanzanians might want to know from you, what is the state of the AI in Tanzania at the moment?
The state of the AI in Tanzania at the moment, we are in the level where we design our system. AI is used in the public sector, in the private sector. Most of us, we understand that the court of Tanzania has been adopted AI for quite some time. I think 2 years ago, they're using it in the normal way they're doing. The youth, they are doing really fine in that area. They design systems which are a very, very impressive system, especially using what they call generative AI, which is an AI that is enabling the same AI to create new content from the input that is given to them.
So in short, we are doing well.
Yes, we are doing well, but there's a lot of things also we need to do so that to catch up with a country that they are doing very fine, especially in the area of the infrastructure for AI is needed everywhere in the country so that we can have more youth who are going to create content or systems of AI that are beneficial to us.
On that note, let's start with the recently tabled proposed budget for the year 2025-2026. Are you happy with the way the sector has been positioned in the proposed budget, national budget?
That's very correct. I am very happy with the way we position ourselves, because that budget, if you look at it, is addressing 5 pillars of AI so that the country can thrive into it. One is digital skills for AI, so that people they will be able to do 2 things. To use AI effectively, to design things that have to be with AI, and to do advanced research in that area. There is investment in the area of cybersecurity for AI systems, consumer protections, and data protections. There's an investment in the area of telecommunication services, which are crucial to ensure that AI is able to work properly in our country. There's a sum of investment which has been done in creating of AI economy so that we can be able to use our data to create our systems, to make Tanzania to be a hub for others to be able to build their systems in our country. And then there's a bigger investment which is done in the AI research, innovation, and entrepreneurship.
So you think, according to the way the budget has stipulated the priorities, AI is one of them, that it's going to take us somewhere?
Yes, that's very correct. Because if you talk about AI, basically you're talking about three things. One, you are talking about data, availability of data. We have a data protection law, which is geared to ensure that first we protect people's data and to ensure that the data is in Tanzania, because AI needs data very well. Also, AI needs computation. That is ability to do computation as much as quick as possible in the country. There's an investment in that, and then also there's an investment that which is needed in algorithms. So those three things together, that's what they make AI to be as effective as the way it is. So if you look at the budget have stimulated and allocated the funds in all those three areas in different institutions that they deal with it.
Okay, that's good news to hear from your mouth on that area. Let's talk about the forum itself. It's coming up on 28th and 29th of July. Right. What difference will it make in the Tanzania's digital space?
Well, we have been observing the evolution of AI in Tanzania and how people they've adopted and use it. So we have seen that there's a lot of benefits and a lot of things that we have already achieved from AI. And also there are some areas where we need to improve. So we have found that it's important not to have a conference on AI, but to have a forum. A platform where we can dialogue with different actors in the AI space, but of course everyone is understanding AI will touch everyone. So in the discussion of AI, you need everyone to be on the table to discuss things together. There's areas where we have looked at, the one that we are going to start to discuss about in this forum. For example, the areas of building large language models, small language models, the issue of the strategy of AI that we need to follow, the issue of inclusiveness, issue of data, the issue of startups where we expect a lot of youth to be able to create startups that they're going to do two things that we normally look in our standpoints. One is to create job for youth, and two is to make ICT to contribute substantially in the GDP of the country.
Whom are you expecting to attend the forum?
We expect, of course, the youth that they have startups. Okay. We have invited international experts who have agreed to come and participate in our forum from Germany, from Finland, from Estonia, and some of them from our neighboring country in East Africa. We expect students, we expect experts from the public sector and the private sector, and then also the multinational institutions which are here that they are adopting AI in their daily work.
Let's take a look at now at the area of cybersecurity, how Tanzania is set to deal with cyber threats. As we understand now, the nation is moving so fast to digital economy.
That's a very good question that we've asked, because cybersecurity or cyber threats, they are evolving. This is thing that is evolving over the time. It's keeping changing. The techniques that people are using are keeping changing all the time. The crucial thing is one of the pillars of digital transformation, and in this regard, digital transformation so that we can start to benefit from AI, need to look at three things. One is cybersecurity, to ensure that the system that we are using of AI, they're secure. But two, there is a data that belongs to people. So the issue of data protection, personal data protection, has to be addressed. We have our law, we have an institution, and we have created many guidelines in that regard. But the most important thing is consumer protection, to protect consumers who are using AI in their daily work. So those are the things that we are doing, and we are looking at it because it's a cybersecurity. Aspects of things which are from our country, aspects of the things which are coming from our region, East Africa or SADC, and also trends which are happening in the world, so that we will be able to protect the final consumer of their country, and so that we can have a digital economy that can attract as many players and or investors that are based in Tanzania.
One of your main objectives is to invite as many investors as possible to invest in the ICT sector.
That's very correct.
TVC News is being watched around the world through our social media platforms across Tanzania as well. They might ask, why should they invest in Tanzania's ICT sector?
Because Tanzania has a digital economy which is growing, which is big, is above $1 billion US dollars. That's the market of ICT of a country. If you consider the digital world, like if you consider that Tanzania is a digital country, we have almost 24 million smartphones in this country, so it's just a very big market. Our population is big, it's growing. We are onboarding as many people as possible because we invest a lot in a telecommunication infrastructure so that people will start to use it. There is a peace in our country, so people who are interested to invest in data centers, in submarine cables, it makes more sense to invest in Tanzania. And Tanzania is a hub. It connects a number of landlocked countries that they need access from Tanzania to access the global telecommunication services. So if you combine all those things, Tanzania is more attractive for investment in these areas, because in the world of AI, you need to have fast connection to the global network. You need to have number of people that you can connect. Our population is big. The number of people who are using smartphone are increasing. And also we have started to see that there are global players who are much interested in this market, because market of Tanzania is a market of Zambia, Burundi, Eastern Congo, Rwanda, part of Uganda. You were talking about Malawi and other countries.
That's
so
it's
a
market.
big market.
Yes, that's a large market. Yes. Maybe in 30 seconds, there have been a lot being spoken about formulation of the national AI policy. Maybe within 30 seconds, where are we at this particular moment?
We are in the final stage of creating AI strategy. And in this forum, we are going to launch that AI strategy so that we can start to use it. Because in Tanzania, we have started to adopt AI. And there are some sectors, they've already issued their own guidelines on AI. For example, sector of health, sector of education. So our work now is to create a strategy so that that strategy can be used so that we can adopt AI in such a way that to create two things which are very important for us. To create job for youth, and also to ensure that ICT is contributing substantially to GDP of a country. But there's one thing that I wanted to just inform you about, how our youth are doing fine in AI in Africa. There was a competition which was held at the end of March. It was organized by African Telecommunication Union. Among 10 prizes which were given in that competition, 5 came from Tanzania.
Well, that's great news.
Yeah, that's a very great news.
That's all we have for tonight.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so many things to discuss about ICT sector in Tanzania. I hope next time we'll get time to talk about it more.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your great insights. Now, the Vice President of Tanzania, Dr. Philip Mpango, says the Africa-Italy Development Partnership through Maritime and the Global Gateway will be of great value to develop various sectors, including human resource development, agriculture, science and technology in Africa, with 5.5 billion euros allocated for the implementation of the first phase of the project. The Vice President made the remarks in Rome, Italy, after participating in the Africa-Italy Development Partnership, Maritime and the Global Gateway meetings, representing President Samia Suluhu Hassan.
Kikubwa mimi nilichofurahia ni kwamba badala ya wenzetu huku Ulaya,
instead of our counterparts in Europe bringing us what they think are our priorities, today's discussion have focused on our own priorities as African countries, together with various financial institutions, to ensure that what has been discussed does not remain just on paper, but it is put in action and implemented effectively.
During the meeting, priorities were set in value addition in coffee crops, sustainable energy, infrastructure development, including the Lobeto corridor, as well as AI.
Ambalo tumejadili hapa ni kuhusu kuongeza thamani.
Adding value to our agriculture products is a matter of great importance, especially when it comes to coffee. As it is well known, Tanzania ranks 4th among African countries in terms of coffee production and exports. What is even more crucial is the need to add value to our coffee within the country, so that when it is sold abroad, It is not just as raw material, but as fully processed product.
The meeting brought together various African leaders, the European Union, the international financial institutions, including the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the African Development Bank, AFDB. The government of Tanzania says that 73 carbon trading projects have been registered. All are in various stages of implementation, bringing economic benefits to key areas of the country, revealing that 45 billion shillings have been paid. The Deputy Minister in the Vice President's Office, Union and Environment, Hamza Hamis, informed the Parliament in Dodoma while responding to the question by a member of the Parliament for Special Seats, Benedetta Mashashu, who inquired how the trading in carbon credits has benefited Tanzania. Explaining further, the Deputy Minister said the implementation of the projects contributes to the conservation and restoration of forests and land, increasing employment opportunities and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The government says that it has begun taking urgent measures to ensure that Tanzanians living in Israel and Iran are returned home safely. In a statement issued by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, says Tanzanians in Israel and Iran are safe. The statement further explains that through Tanzanian embassies in Egypt and the United Arab Emirates, which represent Tanzania in Iran, Kuwait and Israel, the government is doing all it can to list Tanzanians in those countries. The statement adds that so far there are 168 Tanzanians in Iran, including 134 students in Qom city and 34 others in Tehran. In Israel, it is estimated that there are more than 200 Tanzanians, including Tanzania's embassy staff, students, and employees of various institutions. Of them, 50 Tanzanians have already registered for assistance to return home. Dar es Salaam Maritime Institute, DMI, has signed an agreement with the Maritime Organization of East, Southern and Northern Africa, aiming to exchange knowledge and experience among students. Signing the agreement in Dar es Salaam, Principal of Dar es Salaam Maritime Institute, Professor Tumaini Gurumo, says the main objective of the agreement is to conduct capacity building in maritime affairs to move more than 27 African countries.
We want to build capacity together for the maritime industry so that we see maritime industry grow in Africa and in our countries. And for DMI to be in collaboration with Moesna, for us it is a process of growing. It is a process of growing because we will be able to reach further than we have been getting students from.
On the other hand, the director of the Maritime Organization of East, Southern and Northern Africa, Kasim Kaziba Mpata, says the agreement will equip the Dar es Salaam Maritime Institute with capabilities to train students from member countries.
By leading institution is the shipping and maritime sector, and my advice for the young people is that this is an opportunity for us as developing nations to take up maritime careers so that we can develop not only our sectors but we can be able to work globally in the sector, which can bring in economic development and foreign exchange for our nation.
The government of Tanzania is preparing transport policy of Tanzania, which will earmark about 10 years to come. And this transport policy, including is a sector of maritime. And as our institution, which we are the Secretary General, we are now proposing and we made a recommendation to have a full, complete maritime policy of Tanzania, which will look at upon issue of environment, issue of crewing.
The Uganda Communications Commission, UCC, has today visited Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC, at Mikocheni in Dar es Salaam, aiming to learn various activities carried out by the organization, as well as deepening relations in the media sector between the two countries. The board chairperson of the commission, Dr. Charity Mulenga, says that the visit opens a new page of cooperation between Tanzania and Uganda, especially in the media and communication sector.
So we are here to learn more about broadcasting. Broadcasting is one of the areas where we as a regulator are mandated to oversee. So we're here to learn about the broadcasting, the industry generally within Tanzania, and also to be able to see how can we as a board be able to support the broadcasting industry back home in Uganda. As a regulator, we also oversee the functions of UBC, and definitely when we go back home, it is something we're going to encourage. We work within an ecosystem, and therefore we cannot work independently, we work together. And more importantly, we also belong to the East African community. So yes, definitely we should expect that there will be a collaboration that we are going to promote between UBC and TBC.
So we are here to know how you do your things versus how our people at home are doing theirs. So whatever information we get from here, we relate it to what our people are doing to get insights of if we need to borrow a leaf from you guys, or we also need to help you lend in advice and see how we can work together.
Meanwhile, the TBC Director General, Dr. Ayub Rioba, says TBC honors historical relations that exist between Tanzania and Uganda, outlining that there is already an agreement that has been signed between TBC and the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC.
The question of Uganda, or Tanzania and Uganda, and specifically TBC and UBC cooperating, this is something that is ongoing, because we already signed a memorandum of understanding. I think it was 2019 or 2020, if I'm not mistaken. We were in Masaka in Uganda. We signed a memorandum of understanding, and we've been discussing with the CEO of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, the possibility of exchange of staff. We will be self-sufficient in the near future, because first of all, we have enacted a law. The parliament passed it, and the president assented. This is a huge milestone for TBC. Currently, what we are working on is to actually identify and then go through a process, identify sources of funding for TBC that will be reliable, sufficient, and sustainable.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Nasa Kingo. Catch us again next week on Monday, same time, same place, right here on TBC One.